Welcome to the video help for sales wholesale products, and this is the main menu. On the main menu, we're going to be going over an overview of the application using the application menu, which is here at the top of the screen. Down at the bottom of the screen, currently there is one application video installed. At the time that this is released, there will be all the videos for each screen within the application described in detail, so you'll know how to learn how to use this application. Let's look up here and it says use the help to learn this application. An internet connection is required for this video. Now this application is set up on the iPhone and iPad as needed for your usage. It's a single user version, the one you're viewing now, for the iTunes application. What you would be doing is either tapping on here or tapping on here, and when you have more videos installed, which they'll be in there shortly, you could tap on any video to repeat and then run the application video by tapping over here. Let's start the overview by looking at the application menu. This is a drop-down menu that has a single tap. Now I'm using a computer to show you because I need a cursor to show you this. You have at the top the main menu screen button, which is a tap on. You tap on this and it brings you to this screen where you can watch all the videos anytime you need to view them. Then there are color-coded sections within this screen, which is called the app menu, where you can view the groups of screens that are available to you. For example, this group is called a parent, the top one is called the parent screen, which is customer business. Then down through here they're called sub screens, and these sub screens are also called child records, where when you have the main screen that describes how and what the business is that you're working with, that would be the main, and I'll just pop over there and show you. This is the main record for that particular business. Each individual business has their own record, so as you jump from one to another, you'll see that when you click on the icon or go back to the main screen, you can access the first group of records in that screen, or then when you get in there, you can do what's called a find, and we'll cover that in the additional videos that are added. How do you find different businesses that you're working with, and then do things like adding user-defined fields to the user-defined field portal. There's a list view that you'll be able to view that lists each individual customer record so that you can access them by just tapping on the record link that goes into the record. Then there's a customer type list, and the customer type list is a drop-down screen like this one that allows you to identify what kind of customer this is, either customer order, retail, return, or wholesale customer. If you want to add additional things to these fields, you would go over here to the Do Action menu and add an additional record, and then that would be able to allow you to click in this field up here, add additional types of businesses that you want to put in there for the customer type. Okay, let's go back to the main screen by tapping on the main menu. We're back on the screen. We're going to drop down the main menu again. We're going to be looking at the wholesale rate list. Let's go in there real quick and just give you an idea. Wholesale rate is what a wholesaler rate would be that you're sharing with the wholesaler. Are they at 10, 20, 30, 40%, or whatever you want to put in here? Again, you would add or edit it by adding the new record within this screen and then tapping up here. And the way this is added, you'll see is like 40% is 0.4, 10% would be 0.1, and so forth. When you want to go back, just drop down the menu and you'll see that it also has an invoice portal, an order list view, an order invoice image, which is the images that are used in a invoice, the order invoice print, the order invoice print long. These are two invoices, and we'll be covering these as we go through the individual videos that show you how to use these. There's an order sales report, an order status, which is similar to this kind of a screen where you can put different statuses in, and then the same thing with tax rates. This application has city, state, and local tax rates that you can add in individually, and then summarized. It's automatically summarized for you so that your tax rate can be used where it combines whatever you have. If you don't have city, you don't have county, and you only do state, then all you have to do is put in the state rate, and that would be put into the application as far as what the rate is that you're charging if you're charging taxes to your individual companies that you're working with. The next one is the product inventory, where you add all your different products into the inventory system. There's an individual record for each product item. There's also a screen in there for product storage where your storing location might be as far as the individual items that you're producing. There's also a product storage status. The status is where is that item, where if it's in storage, and what is that status for that item. Is it being sold or in process of being sold, or is it being stored in a warehouse or in a vehicle, or is it being stored as a consigned item in a store, which is a client customer business. Storage location report is a report that breaks down all the information about each individual item and where it's stored, as far as also the items that were sold at one time from say for example a consignment. Okay, the next thing is a product label text where you can print labels for your individual products that you distribute, retail, or wholesale or consignment. There's a number, there's two different individual labels that you can use for producing these. There's also, actually there's three. There's one and two additional ones that have different information and sizes of information on them. This also would include a barcode that you can create within the application for each individual item that you want a unique barcode for each item that you want to put into a store, or you can print multiple barcodes of that unique type of item and then have a barcode information for that individual item. And there is a way to track them separately as far as a barcode item and then the individual barcoded items for that product, no matter where it's at. Product production. This is an extensive little mini app within the app where you can manage your project productions, where you're building your items and keeping track of cost and the items that go into them, and finding out what the actual cost to build is as far as the individual products within the product production screen. There's a list view that shows each individual product bunch. In this case, when I say bunch, I'm talking about if you're building one to the number of them, you'd have one record. Where this is unique is that you can build, say for example, this last month I wanted to build 10. And I want to track what its cost was and everything last month. And then the next month, in the current month, I want to see what it cost me last month and then run the production and see what the difference is in the production. And this can be done over any length of time because each individual produced item has its own record and quantity that was produced at that particular time. It's kind of a very unique way of tracking and doing production run information where you have a historical view of all the things you built. The production portal is the individual records from a portal record where you're picking off the individual item that you're building and doing a separate record for each individual item of a type. For example, this application was written for a guy that was producing metal art in different ways, and the design is made so that that individual item might have unique things about it, either color, size, dimensions, or usage. And they can be built and then identified in the portals for those items that were produced. Production portal list view. This is the list view of all the items that were produced, and then you can use that to find or do a find in the application to find a group of like items or individual items, whatever you want to do. Then there's a production report for all the things that have been produced and a lot of information as far as where they're at and how they're statused as far as are they in locations, storage, have they been sold, or were they in transit to or from a consignment store where you're actually putting there for sale, and then the information as far as their current status, as far as if they're in a store, how long have they been there, and what is the location in the store where they're actually set up for sale by that particular customer's record up here. Okay, this is a lot of information to go through, but recognize that we're going to go through each screen and we're going to cover how they're used and also how the application is actually run. So let's go back to the main screen. If you have any questions and you need help, you get live free separate help for whatever you want as far as each individual screen if you have questions, or if you need a tour of the application, or if you have a live question where you want to see it in action, where I can either look at your screen or you can look at mine and I can show you how to do whatever things you need to do and make you understand how the proper way to do them is if you don't understand them. So technical support is always free. So this application is kind of unique in that way that you do not have to spend any additional money to get support in the future. Thank you.